right, tell us when to go. Oh, we're good. We're live.
All right, we're back. Day 3, Driver Appreciation Week. And got Jesse and Jelaine, and we got a couple of special guests here with us. Today we've got Todd and Debbie from ATBS. Welcome.
Hey, guys,
Hey.
welcome.
Thank you.
It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having us.
So ATBS, today we're going to have 2 podcasts. One, we're going to focus on ATBS, a very important partner of ours that works with our owner-operators. We've got about 1,200 owner-operators here at Hirschbach, and I believe half of our fleet now, almost 600, are signed up, right?
It's true, yep. We have just crested that mark.
So we're going to talk about ATBS and our history, our relationship together, what ATBS does, and be talking about some tax information, a lot of changing with COVID and all the different changes and so forth. We're going to talk through some of that, and then later this afternoon, Nick Forte is going to be here, and we're going to be, the new Freightliner did arrive, and so we've been talking about that all week. It looks beautiful.
Wow, I just saw some pictures. That grill. Are we doing the black grill on it, too?
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Blacked out, black on black.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so so that one's here, and we'll be walking around that and talking about the new Freightliner. But we're gonna today. I mentioned we're gonna talk about ATBS, and maybe Todd, maybe start off just by telling the folks what ATBS does.
Sure, Brad, you bet. So we are based out of Denver, Colorado. It's nice to visit Dubuque. I love the town and the folks here at Hirschbach. We've been in business for 20 years, and most people think of us as the tax company because we do accounting and tax work for owner-operators. So, when you get into your truck, if you leased a truck and you're not too familiar with all the laws or regarding taxes and those things, we do all your bookkeeping, we do all your tax work, but what I feel like is the most important is we have personal business consultants for every owner-operator we work with, and their sole goal is to help you be successful in your business and really help you understand the ins and the outs of being a business owner, because a lot of folks that get into the owner-operator business don't give it a lot of forethought. They know how to drive a truck well, they know how to, be safe and those kinds of things, but they've never owned a business before. And so our goal really is to help you go from being an employee of a company to being your own business owner and being successful at doing that.
Well, and I know you mentioned 20 years of doing it, and so even before, I guess you're a tax accountant, business consultant now, but I think it's interesting. Even before you started ATBS, Todd's a trucker at heart, and you grew up in the trucking business, right?
Yep, and we were together last night, and you and I were both joking about cab over trucks, and there's plenty of drivers out there that still remember what a cab over truck looks like, but as I tell everybody, I have diesel in my blood. I was born into a trucking family, and once you're in trucking, you can't get out of it. So we definitely know, live, and breathe. We're not just green-visored calculator geeks. We know the business of trucking, and the numbers and the taxes are just an aside from it. To make money in trucking, you have to be smart. You have to be street smart. You don't have to necessarily be book smart. So we try and merge those things, book smart and street smart, to make successful truckers.
So the reason we actually connected with ATBS, we had heard about their company before, was actually a suggestion from a driver. He was new to the lease purchase program and didn't really understand. He knew how to drive, but he had never had his own business before. And we did some research. We found out that some of our most successful drivers were already with ATBS, and that's why we kind of reached out to them to say, how can we formalize this and get it in front of especially our new drivers to set them up for success.
Yeah, and it's really been a short relationship. We don't have a lot of time together, but it's really growing quickly. We started when was that, Jelaine?
It was about a year ago.
It's 1 year ago tomorrow, actually.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're hitting our 1 year anniversary, and we're already at nearly 50% of our operators are signed up.
And actually, because we have so many more, the price has gone down since we started, because we've hit, over a certain number.
500.
So Yeah, $20.49 a week, and they do your quarterly taxes and all the business consulting. So it's a heck of a deal.
I think you can take like a shoebox of your receipts and just send it in too. They'll take that.
Well, it's often like a popsicle box, occasionally a Jim Beam box. So it doesn't have to be a shoe box. It can be whatever kind of box you have.
They're a lot.
Now, I did see today, though, that you have, now, the way this works is we actually have our system downloaded to you. So most of the information that the operators have, their revenue, their expenses, their truck, their fuel, their maintenance, insurances, all of that is coming to you electronically, right?
Yeah, so our goal, along with you guys, is to make the driver's life easy, and in doing that, the settlement data, so all the revenue and all the expenses that go through Hirschbach are automatically downloaded every week. When you're settled with Hirschbach and you get your check, that data comes direct to us. So you don't have to worry about getting us any of that information, but there's things that you'll do on the road that are miscellaneous, your cell phone bill, a motel, things that you buy for work. You can send those to us via an ATBS app. It's really simple to use. We just rolled it out about 6 months ago. And so between those two things, the data download and the app, you can send us all your stuff and we'll take care of it for you. And honestly, we don't want you to be tax experts. And so if you go to Walmart and you buy some stuff for your house, but also some things for your truck, you got some Windex or, some paper towels for the truck, you don't have to go through and figure out what's tax deductible. Literally just take a picture and send us that Walmart receipt. We have dozens of people in Colorado that will go through and, highlight and figure out what can be deducted in your business.
Fantastic.
Well, I think you can see pretty quickly at basically $1,000 a year. You start talking about just having someone do your quarterly taxes, your
by the
annual
way, the
taxes.
$1,000 a year is also tax deductible.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But all these little tricks as well that are all legal, but there's a lot of other deductions that you can have, and Todd just mentioned a few of them. But I know, Debbie, you've got maybe quite a list of kind of unique things that are legally tax deductible. Is that right?
Right. I always tell drivers, anything and everything you purchase, you buy, you need because your occupation that's within reason is tax deductible, except personal hygiene and food, because you get per diem. So they forget about their sunglasses or their ATM fees when they get a cash advance, or they do their laundry in the truck stop or laundromat, not at home. It needs to be on the road, and work-related clothes. They need to document that. One load a week could be anywhere from a $300 to $500 tax deduction at the end of the year just in their laundry. Showers.
Wow.
Not always will they be at a truck stop where maybe they can use their points through their fueling system. They may have to physically pay for a shower here and there. Same thing, a shower a week that you have to pay for out of their pocket could be anywhere from a $300 to $500 tax deduction at the end of the year. All these deductions are what adds up and could make or break them at the end of the year. But the big thing is we don't want them tipping the IRS. We want the money in their pocket, not the
Absolutely,
IRS's.
yes.
Well, that's great advice. So your Oakley sunglasses are tax deductible, huh?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So what about, I don't know if this was something I heard from someone else or not, but what about like a pet? Is there anything along those lines as far as, I heard something about like security or something like that. Is that a?
It can and it can't be.
Okay.
I mean, I have a 5-pound dog, but he's pretty. He'll bark at anybody, any strangers. He'll let me know they're
smaller
coming.
dogs are even more dangerous sometimes.
You
Lola
know-
would just go home with you, so she wouldn't qualify.
It's really funny because that can also go with the home office deduction. There's all kinds of kind of questionable things out there. And our biggest competitor is kind of that sleazy tax preparation company that says, we'll help you screw the IRS so you don't pay any taxes. And at the end of the day, if you get audited by the IRS, it's going to be painful. And so you got to walk that fine line between what does the IRS allow you to deduct and what are the red flags. And honestly, that pet guard dog has been debated for 20 years. We've gone back and forth. We have such a good relationship with the IRS that, we honestly can even ask that question. Like, is a guard dog going to set off an IRS audit? And today, we believe that a guard dog is a totally legitimate deduction. And it doesn't have to be a German Shepherd because in the end, you got to look at reality. And if I've got that, 8-pound Chihuahua that barks like crazy in my truck and I'm in the truck stop, that's a guard dog. I mean, the food, everything associated with that dog can be deducted. If I've got a German Shepherd that's lazy and sleeps in the bunk,
Lola.
maybe that isn't a guard dog, right? So in the end, the IRS auditor may want to meet your guard dog. So you just got to think of it that way. And we don't want to do things that are going to be illegal, but we want to do everything we possibly can to pay less taxes, because that's your right. That's why you own your own business, is to save money on taxes.
So I think Cujo would qualify. I know you guys haven't seen Cujo, but I'm pretty sure he would qualify.
Would almost fit into that little truck.
Heck yeah, as long as he barks. I was listening the other day, and I heard one of our guys talking to a driver, signing him up for the service, and they got into the dog discussion, and I heard the guy say, "What kind of cat do you have?" And it turned into a whole, no, really, I don't think the cat can be.
I mean, if it was a tiger,
deduction.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm more of a dog person anyway, so. So, with COVID going on and all these changes from the government, I know we've had, like, for example, hours of service regulation changes as a result of COVID, and trying to get food into the distribution centers and onto the shelves quicker. What changes, are there any unique changes that are out there as a result of COVID as it relates to taxes?
There's a bunch, and I'll just maybe touch on a couple of things. One thing is, the hardest part for us and for drivers is when you're in the business, and even if you've been at it a while, drivers put it off. They don't want to deal with the paperwork because tax filing is really an annual process. But we just learned in the last 4 months that if I didn't have my 2018 or 2019 tax return filed, I didn't get the $1,200 government stimulus check that went out. I couldn't apply for a PPP loan. And I'm not sure if we're going to go through this again, but it was a really good lesson for all of us to not delay those things and put them off. A driver that hasn't filed a return in 3 years just literally lost out on, $10,000 to $50,000 in government assistance that was literally free. So you got to file the return at the end of the day, keep up with the paperwork. So, Brad, you bring up a really good point. Tax law was changed this year. The filing deadline was extended from April 15th to July 15th. The first and second quarter estimated payments were extended to July 15th. And so I say what I just said because that gets us all in the habit of delaying and putting things off. And then all of a sudden freight got good. So we're really busy right now. And I don't have time to deal with a lot of that stuff. So for drivers that have put off because of those extensions, filing last year's return, paying your estimated taxes, we got to get it done because we don't want to be in tax trouble at the end of the year.
Yeah, and for those of you, for half of you that are owner-operators with us that are signed up, you're in good shape already. For the other half of you that are not signed up, at $20.49 a week, I think this is a really wise investment for you to consider. Jesse, or Todd, Deb, how do we get some of the folks that you've only been with us for a year? We've got a ton of operators that have been with us for quite a bit longer than that, and maybe didn't have an opportunity or weren't aware of the program. How can we get those folks signed up?
Well, we're going to have some information available. So if you follow this podcast, you can go to info.hirschbach.com/ATBS. If you're watching this on the YouTube Live, we will put a link on here as well, going directly to that site. There's some information directly on there. You can also, there's a phone number. I don't know the number, but it's on the website as well. Or you can fill out the form, and that will go to our ATBS partners over there, and they'll reach out and give you a call.
It's, I'm pretty sure, Jesse, 866-920-2827. But if I got that wrong, atbs.com, you can also find the phone number on there.
Yeah, and you guys do have specific people who handle just the Hirschbach accounts, correct?
We do. We want to understand your freight lanes, your pay, all the things that go on here and the common things that Hirschbach drivers face. So our consultants are really familiar with Hirschbach and the owner-operators that run here.
Talk about that relationship with the consultant and the operator. I know that you prepare P&L statements, and you have some benchmarking information to show the operators how they're doing in each of the various categories. Can you speak to that a bit?
Yeah, and one thing I just really want you to remember is I said most people think of us as the tax company because we do tax returns and that's required by law. But the best resource you have at ATBS is your business consultant because they literally understand your business and deal with hundreds of drivers. And so any question you have about your business related, tax, accounting, or just running. I mean, we just went through the craziest cycle of freight, in the last 4 months because of COVID. We had places that completely dried up and there was no freight left, and we got places that boomed because America was hoarding goods. Our consultants every day are talking to thousands of drivers, and so we can help you understand, maybe you had this gravy train run that you've been on with Hirschbach for the last 3 years, but the world changed. And, I'm just going to say, by human nature, sometimes drivers don't trust what their driver manager's telling them because they think they just got to get a load moved. But we'll give you the honest truth. We'll tell you this is really what's going on in the world, and Hirschbach's not just trying to get the load moved. The world changed, and so this is the best load for you now, and you are going to have to change your role a little bit. So that consultant, really should be your friend. You should look at them as someone that you can call anytime. Honestly, even if you're having personal issues, I mean, we have people that go through divorces and it impacts your business and your tax return. We can talk to you about that. So really don't think of us as just someone that can do your tax return. Think of us as someone that can help you, mend a relationship. If you got in a fight with your driver manager, that happens, right? Sometimes you get mad and you want to quit. Call us up. We can get a hold of Hirschbach. We can sometimes smooth those things over. That's really what we're here for. Together, Hirschbach and ATBS, to make you successful. If you don't run a successful business, neither one of us have a business.
Well, I'd say from the spouse side of things, I think a lot of drivers out there are very focused on, their hours of service. They're actually trucking, behind the wheel, and a lot of time these responsibilities fall on the spouse. So that spouse then has to become kind of your back office. And while he or she might be doing a great job, for $20.49 a week, I think these guys might be able to alleviate some of the pressure off of the spouse.
That's great. Mm-hmm.
And probably find a hell of a lot more money to save for the business because that is their business. The spouse may not have had the degree in accounting to go through this. So
I have literally seen drivers' wives cry when they have
I
heard
bet.
that they don't have to deal with all this crap that he brings and dumps on the dining room table once a month anymore.
The box of receipts.
Yeah, you mean you'll take care of that? I've seen
Wow.
wives cry. And
Wow.
we're happy to deal with just the wife. If the driver wants to drive the truck and forget the business end, we'll deal with the wife, of course.
That's great.
I bet that's pretty common.
Yeah, it is very common,
I
which is
would-
good because drivers like to drive. And I shouldn't say wife because the spouse
Yeah.
deals with the business end.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did for years, and I
Okay.
wish there would have been a service like this back, 30 years ago when we leased our first truck,
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was like, yeah,
So Debbie, you've got trucking in your blood too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Married into it, yeah.
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 So your husband drove,
Yeah, for, 40 years.
and you were the one doing the
In the
tax
be-
work.
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Probably
so-
before you were an expert in it.
Well, before ATBS was here,
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's things that I like to point out to drivers when I do a presentation for them is that I'm not just telling you about it. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen things happen where we were one of these that didn't know where we were at till the end of the year when we went to get our taxes done by the gentleman in our hometown. Not that he wasn't a good CPA, but he did all types of occupations, specialized in truck and didn't specialize in trucking, and he just took the information I gave him to prepare our taxes. We lost a lot of deductions and ended up the first year owing the IRS a lot of money that we hadn't planned for because we didn't understand the business side, and that's probably why I'm here with
passionate.
Yeah, I am. I'm very, because it's not fun to fail or have issues being a business person, so that's why I'm with ATBS.
And how long have you been there, Debbie?
18 years.
18 years. Wow.
So Debbie is our dedicated representative and comes to talk to all of the new operators that join Hirschbach every week, right?
Yes.
So you're going to be doing that today?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Mhm.
Good.
Yep, this afternoon.
So 3 times a week, huh?
Yes, I've been doing it 3 times a week we just started a few weeks back.
Yeah,
It's
good.
working well.
Yeah, we have roughly about 75% hit rate of people that are joining up right away. And the other thing I would say is we are finding in the short time that we've worked together with ATBS that the operators that have signed up for ATBS are more successful financially than the operators that are not signing up. And what I mean by that is, just what's flowing through us, the revenue and the expenses that are flowing through us. Forget about all the other goodies of Oakley sunglasses writing off and things like that we're really, that those are sort of gravy on top of it. But I'm just talking about, the basic operation of the business. The revenue, more revenues being generated by the operators that are working with ATBS, and more profit is left at the end as well. So the relationship is really, it's one that's only hitting its 1 year, but we're really glad that we found ATBS. You've been a great partner, having a big impact in a short period of time, and we're excited to continue to grow our relationship together.
Well, a year is a short time, but I can say it's been one of our most successful relationships in 20 years. You guys run an amazing company. You care about your drivers. That's obvious when you hang out here at all, not just during Driver Appreciation Week, but every day of the year you care about your drivers. And so it's fun to work with a company that really treats their drivers with respect. And our goal, as I said, is for both of us. You guys make more money than Brad and I have jobs for a long time. If you don't, then we're collecting unemployment. So
There's no doubt, yeah, no doubt. You guys have heard me, probably say a million times, but 2,000 of you are out there actually doing the work, and everyone's got a critical role to play here at Hirschbach, whether it be myself or mechanics or dispatchers, you name it. But if you're not driving a truck here, you're supporting those that are. And you guys have really, really challenging jobs out there, and we have a great appreciation for the jobs that you do. And it's Driver Appreciation Week, and it's nice that we take a week off to really thank you for the job that you do. But as Todd said, I mean, really, every day you guys work hard, and we do appreciate the amazing jobs that you do.
There should also be a Spouse Appreciation Week, so shout out to all those spouses who are currently digging through for those quarterly taxes, all those receipts. Get them off the hook, and thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
Well, with that, anyone else? Any final comments from anyone before we conclude this podcast for today?
No, I think, again, if you guys want more information, go to info.hirschbach.com/ATBS. You'll get the information there, and if you want to sign up, call the phone number that Todd said, or it's online, or atbs.com, and you'll be able to get more information, maybe talk to Debbie, and find out some deductions that you can do. So,
Quick and painless.
very easy. I would sign up. Sign me up, Debbie.
I'll do your expense report, Jesse.
I do have a new bag I think I should write off. We'll talk.
Well, it's orange, right?
It's orange. so
Well, I
it's
think if it's orange, it's
Yeah.
considered a write-off, I think.
Then it's a laptop bag.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, thanks, everyone. We'll be back here in a bit with Nick Forte and walking around our new cool blacked-out Freightliner.
Yeah. All right, thanks,
With the
guys.
orange seatbelts.
Oh.
Yeah, cool. All right, see ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Debbie. Safe
Thank you.
travels.
Take
Yep.
care.